I want to go first. And also, will you time a little bit? Will you look like maybe 5 minutes?
Sure.
Something like that. Cool. Uh, okay, so the first thing that comes is like I don't want to be cold. I feel like I'm cold and I'm done being cold. I want to be outside. I want my naked feet in the earth. I want to be with my kids and I want to it's like I don't want my life to like revolve around always holding space for my kids and then asking myself if it's a conscious space or an unconscious space. And I want to celebrate with them. And I want spaces where I'm not the only space holder for my children. And I want to be with other people. I want to create with other people. I want to be in a team or a villaging context where I don't know, like I want to say I want to pull the rug from under me, but it's something like I want to experiment and I want to get feedback and I want to fall on my nose and go again. And
What is it that you want to experiment with?
I want to experiment with following my impulses, with not being adaptive, with taking a stand for what I want, even like before I know what that means. And saying like this is what I want to do today, like who's with me, what do we want to, like who wants to create this with me. And hmm, I want to I want to hold space for people feeling. I want to hold space for people going to their edges and figuring out what it means to not be adaptive and what it means to come back to their centers and to their impulses and moving from there. And I want to create a culture where where it's not like I can either be in a space with you or I can be in a space with my children, but like they can coexist and then like they can come together and then they can, like do their like the kids do their thing again and the adults do something else again and there's somebody holding space for the kids and then it goes like this and it comes together again and it now I'm in my head.
Keep going, doing great.
I want to be I want to be unapologetically like who I am and who I am right now in this moment as my bodies are exhausted and my gremlin wants to come out and be like wild and playful and I don't want to apologize for it because it's not the perfectly clean adult ego state possibilitator doing it right whatever thing. I just want to be wild and explosive and shoot over the line and yeah and just be true to my bodies. I want to be true to my bodies and I want to sit under a tree and just listen and somehow I want to explore like I want to explore Gaia and nature with my kids and I want to learn from them and I want them to learn from me and yeah I want to go on adventures with people. I want to be close to other people. I want to figure out like how does it go to cook together, to hold space together, to be on the land. I don't know. I want to be wild and dance with naked feet and I want dust in my nose and I don't want to I don't want to apologize for sometimes being not centered and shooting. I said it before, but like shooting over the line or having a wild impulse and just going with it, even if it's somewhere contaminated. And yeah.
You have 10 more seconds, and if you
Oh, I
want
thought
to
there
go
was
more,
time. I don't know, I want to party and be alive and be wild and just that. And I want to see the stars. Thank you.
I want to speak back to you a few things that landed and just to reflect them. I hear that you want to be in nature, that you want to listen to nature, you want to walk barefoot, and you want to look at the sky, and you want to speak to Gaia and to listen to Gaia. I hear that you want to be in a different relationship with your children that doesn't orient in a different relationship with yourself that doesn't orient with you taking care of your children or holding space for your children, but there is space for something else. And that you want to have a different relationship with children in general, where they could be in a space without it being a space of taking care of them, but a space where adults can interact, and it's not about taking care of the children. I hear that you want to create and to practice creating and listening to your impulses and being unreasonable. That you want to invite people from the small now, from things that are alive in you, and to live in a village in that way.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to say?
I feel glad because I don't know, I feel sad and I feel scared and I'm sitting here and my bones are holding me up and I'm just going and yeah. And there was something yesterday about my gremlin and somebody asking me if I still want an impulse from them. And this today I was like, oh no. And I mean, what I said about being like just trying things and being unapologetic and then getting my nose and my beeps or whatever and then trying again is like that somehow really in this moment like made me be a lot more centered and feeling and yeah, yeah, just liquid and loving it. And thank you for completing my communication. It's
Mhm.
wonderful to hear it.
Yeah, I feel sad to hear you speak about what you want. I feel sad that it's not happening, not for you and not for other people. I would like to go myself. Will you hold space for time for me?
I will. Yes. Go.
I want to create messes. I want to create messes with children. I want for I want to practice and deepen in what does it mean to to hold space for families, for parents, for children. And I want to invoke messiness in parents, and I want to invoke messiness in parents in front of their children, and to break the distance of the drama of being a parent, of being a child, and create something different together with parents. I want to spend time with children. I want to spend time in nature with children, and be inspired and invite children and go through the emotional healing of the distance that I'm creating from children by treating them like a different entity, like a different animal, like a pet in a way, and to really and to really discover what kind of relating is possible with children and and getting nourished by it. I want to to do experiments between like with families, with family dynamics, with how it works to have a village with men's culture and women's culture. How does it go when the men take hold space for women's culture to happen, the woman hold space for men's culture to happen by taking care of the children or by being in logistics while the other one is having an upper world experience with their team. And I want to experiment how does it go the negotiation of creating that and what is in the way of a man and a woman to truly be in each other's team for that to happen. I want to experiment with discovering the different box strategies or different box rigidities that I know that exist between in a family, like in a family set, and how does it go that a box preference takes over the energy and the time of a family, and how does it work when exposed to other families, to a village? Like what is the tension that builds up? I'm really curious about that. I want this project, this Bridgehouse, to be I want to say easygoing. I don't know I don't have a better way to say it, but like I don't want to 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 have commitments of I'll hold this space every week at this time. I want it to be fluid and and really chaotic. That's the word. I want it to be chaotic and to be relevant from the now and from what is alive and to be communicated. I want it to be chaotic in the way of having no specific rules or no specific knowing how it goes, but really falling together into the unknown of what this village is, because it's a village experiment. I want it to be a village experiment. I want I want to to wake up in the morning and hear children laugh and hear children cry and babies. I want I want to have like a to go liquid about time and about commitments and about how does it go to have a day going on and about meals. Like when do I eat? When am I hungry? What does my body want to eat? And to really be inspired by the children, to be guided by the children that really have those skills.
Yeah, you have 10 seconds.
I want to I want to play and I want to play with everyone. Mm.
Thank you, Oren. You want to create messes and you want this bridge house to be chaotic. You want to hold space for children and be in nature with them. And you want to explore how can the women be on the team of the men to create the men's culture while the men are on the women's team to create women's culture. And how do we negotiate? How can one be in their upper world experience while the other is maybe in logistics? And how do family boxes work, and how do they get liquefied in contact with other families and in the village? And you want this to be a villaging experiment and experience. And in the end, you also mentioned food. When am I hungry? When do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? And also following the lead of the children, not seeing them as another form of entity, almost like a pet, and being liquid in that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
What is happening for you now?
I wanted to bring up you were sharing in the beginning of the call about noticing how you uh, kind of bend your wants around other people and what you think that they want. And I want to hear if you have anything about specifics, things that you notice that you are already bending and that you want to take a stand to not bend.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, in the so I had a call with Dimitra, and then she also asked me, what do you want? And I share, and then I notice I want to somehow make sense to her. I'm giving my authority away, checking with her if she thinks what I have to say makes sense or is workable. Or I noticed that Daphne said, like, you have to be very specific about your context. Like if are you inviting people for a training, or like if you imagine you want to invite people for a training and then people think it's a holiday, you will get like these kind of clashes because the context is not clear. And I noticed it brings up this kind of like, oh, I have to create logistics, like what's the day plan? Something like that. And also, yeah. Um, so I feel I want to use my fear and my experience to create like some sort of structure around which we then can play wild. Like, where are people sleeping? Who's taking care of food? Who's the main space holder for the children today or the next 2.5, 3 hours, whatever. To have these kind of clear logistics so that within, like in between, we can let it flow because we know the next meal is being prepared, whatever. So this is Mia and this is Oran. Gute Nacht.
Hello, Mia.
Mwah. And this is Jonna
Hallo, Jona.
und das ist Oran. Und ihr geht schlafen? Super, alles
Ah,
klar. Dann sehe ich euch morgen und dich sehe ich nachher im Bett. Ja? Okay, gute Nacht, mein Häschen.
gute Nacht.
Ja, der Papa kann euch ja erstmal zusammen ins Bett bringen, aber heute Nacht schläfst du beim Papa. Morgen schlafe ich bei dir. Okay? Ja, gute Nacht. Was wolltest du?
Ik wil die wel meenemen.
Ah, das war das, was du meintest? Ach so, super, dann hast du es ja gefunden. Aha, High Five. Okay. Gute Nacht. Last week she left a drawing here, and the adults didn't know which drawing. And in the middle of the week, she started crying and said, I left my drawing at Oma's house and it's not finished. and she found it. So
Mm.
she just came, she said, look, I found it. So
So you,
I feel glad because she had a problem and now she found a solution.
I hear that you speak German in the house.
Yeah, so I'm German, my partner's Dutch.
Ah,
We
okay.
live in the Netherlands, so they learn both. And then we speak English sometimes when we switch into PM jargon or we're speaking about feelings or these kind of things. So then
The children speak English?
not really. No, but I think they understand some. And then sometimes they will say like, niet Engels praten, like don't speak English, you know,
Mm.
like that.
Great. I have children to practice German with.
Yeah. So where are you from originally?
Guatemala originally, and
Okay.
I lived in Israel most of my life.
Mhm.
How
And
about
is
you?
Oran your given name or you gave it to yourself?
Yes.
You gave it to yourself?
No, it is my given name.
Okay. Because it
Mhm.
also means like human in Indonesian. You know that?
Ah, no. Cool.
So, you know, like orang utan means like human or like person from the forest. And then if they say, for example, Indonesian person, they will say orang Indonesia.
Ah, wow.
So there you
So
go.
I'm Oran in a
Yeah.
way.
Yes. So I was wondering if you gave it to yourself, you know?
It's really cool. No, it's really, really raw, really raw name. I love
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You were saying about creating a basic structure.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, like, you know, something like whatever, like we get up and we do breakfast, you know, like we co-create breakfast or we co-create a morning ritual and then we have breakfast and then whatever, there's like a 2.5 hour space for today I want to go on an adventure or today I want to do something with the kids on the land or today I want to have a space for, you know,
Hmm.
emotional healing process. And then we meet again and we have, you know, like that we have like, okay, like, I don't know, like in a lab also at some point you have like a meal and a morning ritual or like an evening something. And then around that things can, how do you say that? Like almost like a scaffold where the structure is more or less similar every day. And then in between spaces can be filled. Um,
Hmm. My fear is
yeah.
to first have a context or something. Like what is it that we want the Bridgehouse to really be about, and
Yeah.
then we can start doing the logistics in order
Yeah.
to build from the context what it would look like. Does that
Yeah.
work for you?
Yes, and also like in a way is like what are the research questions? And
Mm.
I noticed for me like one of the research questions that I'm bringing is really this thing of like I want to be with them and also I want to have other spaces. And when I am with them, often it's like I have to be with them and not like I want to create something with children or with my children. And it's not always like that, but you know, like in the everyday, a lot of it is oh, like I am with them because it's the afternoon and they're not in school, whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
What are you feeling?
I feel sad. Mm. I think I have a story about myself that I don't know if I'm beating myself up. I want more of our life together to be about exploring and not like, oh, I'm tired, I wish the day was over. Or and and I feel scared that even that is a story, that that is what our day looks like, you know? Um, and yeah, and the truth is, I feel really scared that I don't want to hold space for them. or it's like not my biggest job is holding space for children's culture. And to admit that and to say like, hey, maybe I want somebody else to be the main space holder for the children's part of the villaging experiment. Um, yeah, a big part of my research is with my partner. Um, Noticing when am I starting to make assumptions, dismantling resentment, like letting him be with his ex on the map, and then
What do you want it?
um, yeah, letting him be with his ex on the map and not saving him, and at the same time not be in resentment because I don't know, again, he has pain in his back and it's Sunday, and so now he's like in the swamp. And that is a lot of my research right now at home. And I was touched when you spoke about men's culture and women's culture, because somehow the way I was thinking about it is like there will be more women than men. And I wasn't aware that I was thinking that. And this idea of like, okay, it could be a village where there's, I don't know, 10 men and 10 women and 20 children or whatever, more or less. And how do our cultures, how can our cultures unfold? How can we unfold as beings? And yeah, and and I love to speak from this place that I'm speaking from right now, and then I feel scared that I have to become more concrete, or I want to be on my partner's team and not be like be resenting him for being in physical pain or whatever it is that he's going through. And I want to be in a place where I'm centered and nourished, that when my kids come into the room, I'm like, yay. Just like what happened now. I was such a big yes for them coming and seeing you for a short moment on the screen. And I would love to experiment about that. Like how can we each be more nourished in our bodies and then be together? Or how can we create a culture together where nourishment is the basis of everything else, and not like exhaustion or exploitation? Or and then again, I feel scared that when I talk about it like that, I'm also making a story about my life, that it's all exhaustion, or and it's not. And and this week I noticed when they are not in like Jonna started in Holland, they go to school at 4. She started going to school in the end of October. And suddenly I have like 3 time windows a week, like 2 mornings and an afternoon, that I used to be with her, and now I have space to whatever, do my thing. And and it's wonderful. And I'm dependent on school. I'm dependent on their after school forest program. When they're sick, they're home with me, and I have to rearrange my whatever, my things around it. My also my day job around it. And um, yeah, and this week they're on holiday, and I noticed this pressure of the life I live now. I need school to have these breaks or these spaces where I start creating. Or yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm making the story that I have to say something about what that means for the Bridgehouse, but this is just something that I'm, yeah, maybe in relation to the exhaustion. Like I'm not all exhausted by all means, and I want more. I want more nourishment for my 5 bodies and for the people around me, for my kids, for my partner, for the people that I relate with.
Mm.
And yeah, and really this is a big one, like to be on each other's team wherever it is that we are right now. And how does it go without saving, without like leaving you with your problem, but at the same time like being on your team. And I noticed there's so much research for me right now. And how can I be there with like my love and my true care? And then what happened, for example, what I notice happens, and it happened yesterday, is then I'm going into this other thing, which is an identity of, oh, like being in this little bit gremlin joy and like, ah, it doesn't matter, we're awesome, we're doing it, and I'm on your team, and just letting it rip, and then also being a bit this messy kind of, um, yeah, and in that messiness, and then getting the feedback like, okay, like what are you doing now, or this is not working for me, or um, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
What I'm getting is that you really want to have this opportunity for deepening your relationship with your partner and to navigate into being on each other's team, and that you see how much uh, how much there is to work on, and that you see how the Bridgehouse could be also about that.
yeah. I mean, this is what is happening in my space now, and I'm so grateful for it. Like this morning was the first time I stepped to him and I said, hey, you know what I actually want is like, I want to be on your team. And I don't want to be like, oh, it's Sunday again, you're in the swamp, fuck you. Like, and to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, like that's what I actually want. Yeah, and that is it's just what is alive for me now. And I think that's what I'm continuing to research. And so when you say, like, how does the men's culture go? How does the women's culture go? I'm like, yes.
Thank you for sharing from your heart. I feel really sad to hear you, and I'm glad to see your stand. I'm sad to see your stand, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just want to see my kids in trees and bringing home different kinds of stones than they bring home now.
I have one worry that
Yes,
I
go.
wanna share with you because it's in the back of my mind for a few weeks now, and it's that in Somos there is a cliff.
Hmm.
Like Somos is a big rectangle. Like we can see it as a big rectangle, and one side of the rectangle is a cliff, and it's possible to go everywhere basically without without being next to the cliff, but the cliff is dangerous. People
Hmm.
can fall, uh, can slip. I don't know, and I feel fear about children's environment, and I wanted to share with you that if it's something that sounds, yeah, I don't know if it is really important. That's my fear. My fear is that it could be really important to know that there's a cliff there, and and if children are free everywhere and they know about the cliff, like what happens, and
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, what comes for me is like, when you give children a knife and you sit with them and you explain to them, like, this is the blade and it's sharp, and, like you're now in the position that you're being given responsibility to hold this knife and work with it. And, this is what can happen and this is what you can use it for. And you have to be careful with this. And I mean, to really make it part of the logistics in a way, but like maybe even the getting to know the land. Um, I mean, when my daughter was like 14, 15 months old, it was like the first Corona summer and we couldn't go anywhere. And we got a yurt very close to our house and we stayed there for a week. And it was really cold summer, so we made a fire every day. And we had to teach her that, like we go there and we go like super close so she can feel the warmth. And then we would tell her it's hot. And she knew and she wouldn't go there. And then like a few weeks later, she saw a very small baby in a group where the baby was just laying on the floor. And I said, we go there very carefully. And then she said, oh, hot, hot. Like she made the same kind of connection between the fire and the um so I would go about it like that, um and be with them and be with them as we explore the cliff, and also make it very clear that it's dangerous and that you don't go there, or you play until here, or something like that. How does that sound?
Sounds great. I had this worry, and I just like kind of wanted to see your reaction to it as a mother, and it really calms me in a way.
Yeah, and also, I mean, my children are 4 and 7. I mean, Mia will be 7 in May. Are you still there? Yeah,
Yeah.
your image froze for a moment. And yeah, it would be something that we discuss also with parents who maybe have younger children, or yeah. But I think they can very early on. Yeah, and I mean, and they don't have so much impulse control. So, like if they're really playing very wild, then not close to the cliff. And yeah, when it comes down to it, the adults will have to be the ones holding that boundary.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think it's possible.
Okay, great. I wanna bring us back to the
Yeah.
context, and my impulse would be to ongoingly deepen the context, and we can already speak to people and invite people. Like that's my impulse, to not let the context or the logistics be what stop us, but maybe decide on a time frame.
Hmm. To have a next call, for example.
Great. How about 2 weeks from now,
Yeah, that
the
works.
exact time?
Let me check, because so that's Friday. So I will be in Belgium for a trade show that I'm doing for my work. Um, let's see. So Friday, I think the show is until 4 or 5. So 6:30 can work.
The 6th of Friday the 6th, yeah.
Uh-huh. Can we do 7? Because then I'm pretty sure I can get dinner before.
Yes, 7 works great for me.
Okay, super.
Even if you want 7:30, just because
For you, it's fine?
for me it works, yeah.
Yeah.
It's even better, 7:30. How was that for you?
Okay, super. Yes. So that's Friday. Tell me again, the 6th.
Friday the 6th, yeah.
And how are you, 2 hours away?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay.
Right now it's 6:15 here.
Yeah. But you have more daylight.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I will, next Thursday, I'm having a call with Eva Czepaniak. I reached out to her because I know that she's been living with families and children, and I think they have had also a training in Poland once with kids and families, and I mean, and when I asked her, she said, "Yeah, well, I'm also living in Antri for 2 years with adults and children and families." So, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really consider that, but yes." So I just basically reached out to her um, to hear a little bit from her what are her experiences also about adult spaces and kids spaces. Yeah.
Go. I will contact Israel. I know that
Mhm.
he's really passionate about this, and
Is he in Brazil?
He's originally from Brazil. I don't know if
Okay.
he's still there.
Okay. I haven't met him.
Me neither. I haven't met him, but I do see his activity in the children culture group and yeah, I sense a lot of fire, and I'm curious.
Yeah, cool.
Write it
And
down.
there is another woman I will invite to the Friday call, and that is Sophia Kastner. She's in Vienna,
Hmm.
and she's a mother of two sons. And well, I mean, she's in my Gremlin transformation team, and I told her about the Bridgehouse, and she was really on fire about it.
And are you thinking about her as a space folder, or are you thinking about her as a
Um, well, I mean, she said, I mean, I didn't really talk to her about the context that I have in mind. Um, and I don't know if she knows Somos. I told her, I sent her the website, and she said, like, oh, I would love to organize this with you. And I will check with her again. Like, I will tell her a little bit about what I think the context, the direction that the context is going into and what I want, and then check with her and see if, yeah, if she would want to be in.
and would you want her to be in as a space holder?
Um, yes.
Great.
Mhm.
I
And
also know
also,
that I
go.
know that a man named Christoph from the German village,
Yes.
he wants to come with his daughter.
Oh,
He already
awesome.
told me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great.
So you have
He
other
didn't tell me,
German
but that's
children.
great.
Ah,
No,
he didn't tell you.
I'm right now holding space for a Rage Club, online Rage Club, and he is on our team for exchange for feedback and coaching. And so I'm in spaces with him a little bit more regular now, and I feel glad because I just also realized that he has a daughter, and I wanted to invite him. Yeah, yeah, and
So in
maybe I don't know. Because the next call we would continue to deepen the context. And yeah, I feel scared to make it like a big invitation, but also I want to start talking to people and seeing who wants to be a bit more closer to us as a space holding team. Something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have anything about that. Because I was like, oh, we can also put out another invitation into the big village, you know? And then I was like, but right now we're like, is that the step right now? Because now we're deepening context, figuring out what we want before making it like a big invitation. Yeah.
My priorities would be who is holding space for it,
Hmm.
to have clarity who's holding space for it,
Yeah.
and to have dates. I sense those two are like what is most the highest priority for me. And once we do that, I would say let's start sending about it, even if we don't have the context completely figured out, but we can share that it's happening and for people to know that it's happening and save the date in a way.
Yeah. And with
And
dates, you mean dates when the bridge house is happening, right?
mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to distinguish between holding space for it to happen, organizing it, and for holding a space, like you were saying that you might want someone to hold space for the children in a way, or for children's spaces, or for the kitchen. You were saying something about it, and and my priority would be holding space for it to happen, like organizing it, and the other people can arise. And I want to ask you about the space holding. Is there any do you are you expecting or do you want to receive money from creating this type of space?
I haven't thought about that at all. So my first answer would be no. Yeah.
Yes, it's not very alive for me either to receive money from it.
Yeah.
If I will, because I don't have the context really ready, but if I will commit to holding space during the Bridgehouse and really that being my life during those 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I'm not sure how much we were speaking about, then I might do want to receive money from it. And my sense is if we're contacting Eva or Israel or Dimitra, that maybe they would want to receive money for it, and I would like to give them money for
Mhm.
for a bigger commitment if it is what they're committing to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was actually more thinking about like what would be the like what does it cost to receive people? That was more like the question that I had in relationship with money. Like what does it cost for Somos to receive people?
Mm.
Like these questions. Yeah. But I meant yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So far for trainings, it is it's a different scale. If you sleep in a tent, if you sleep in a house, and you sleep
Yeah.
in the dome, it has a different scale, but it is about 20 euros per night. And for many weeks, I would like to create a different deal, also because there are children, and the conversation was about 4 weeks, right? If I remember
Well, I
correct.
mean, that's what I said originally, and now I was thinking more like 2.5 to 3 weeks. How does that sound?
It works for me, and I have a sense that you also have specific dates.
Yes, I do.
Will you
So
share
my
them?
so what I just wrote down before we spoke before we went on the call was July 20th till August 3rd or August 7th. Yeah. And also there was this kind of in the back of my mind, I had this idea like it could be a 2 week, and then if people want to, I don't know, I don't think I want that. There was a moment when I thought maybe it can be 2 weeks, and then if people want to stick around, we could get an Airbnb together, something like that. But somehow that feels messy.
What would be the purpose?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
Where did it come from,
and
though?
if the I don't know, like I think the purpose was more something like to deepen this idea of living together, but then why couldn't it happen on Somos? Or like more holiday, but then why couldn't it happen at Somos? So that's why I'm like, I think it makes it a bit messy. Like exactly what would be my purpose, and if I know what my purpose is, why can like what would be keeping me from bringing that to the bridge house? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, I think it comes back to this idea of, am I really being here with what I want? Am I really bringing everything I want? So that's what yeah, that's what I'm working on. It's part of my edge.
Go.
Yeah.
I invite you to keep like writing it down,
Yeah.
every impulse that you have about what you want. Like when you were sharing earlier about your personal life, even if it wasn't directly about the bridges, it really um deepened what I want for the context in a way.
Yes. Cool. Mm. Yeah, so that would be my proposal for the time window. Do you already know if that is something that would work?
Yes, the time works.
Okay.
20 until the 3rd or 7th.
Yeah.
And what is the question about when you say the 3rd or the 7th?
I know one of the things that comes up is my paid job. Um, and yeah, I mean, another question that came up for me is like, if it would be shorter, like let's say it's 2 weeks.
Christina,
Ah. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, for example, let's say it's from the 20th to the 3rd, it would be like 14 days. Then I think it would be a full-time commitment. Like you don't just come for 1 week. Like I was thinking, if it's 4 weeks, maybe people can come for 1 week. But yeah. Yeah, I notice I feel scared. I also feel scared that I'm trying to adapt it to other people's schedule. And one thing that also came up for me is that I want to allow space for liquidity when settling back, like at home, where we're still right now just based in our life. So not to sort of rush back on a Sunday and then Monday I'm going back to work and the kids go to daycare or whatever. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I notice I'm losing a bit my center.
How are you losing your center? I didn't get that.
I I want to give you an answer that maybe I don't have right now. And I think 2 weeks are short. Yeah.
And when you say short, is it because you want more than 2 weeks, or is it
Yeah,
because
I think I would. So let's say, for example, like this, if I would like to do 3 weeks. And I want like, I don't know, I want 3 days when we return before the adults are going back to work. Yeah,
so it's exactly until the 7th?
that would be, yeah, yeah. And somehow I feel scared to just say that's what I want. Yeah.
I hear that you want until the 7th, so you have 3 days to go back home and kind of land.
Yeah, and I mean, somehow it's one possibility. Yeah, it's one possibility that right now is relatively comfortable for my box.
Mhm.
And so I'm a little bit suspicious or I don't know. Yeah, now I feel scared that maybe well, whatever.
My proposal is we stay with until the 7th, and if there's another impulse
Impulse.
or something,
Yes.
we manage around it.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, feel free about the time. I wanna, well, we can speak about it also in the next time we meet, but I wanna create clarity about the space holders. And I hear that you're gonna contact that's what is your friend? Your friend's
Sophia.
name?
Sophia.
Sophia. They want to contact Sophia about it. And apart from that, there's Dimitra that you spoke with,
Yeah,
which I sense
Dimitra
is more
said,
about.
yeah, she said, oh, I have been thinking to go to Somos in the end of July. I could come and hold space for the kids, maybe. So,
I love Dimitra. Of course, he was so direct. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
so I
And
don't, she wasn't an immediate yes to organizing the Bridgehouse, but I didn't.
yeah, what I would propose, it's me, you, Sophia, if she wants, and for me that'll be enough for organizing. Like I don't want to have a big team and
Yeah.
to have all this opinions and boxes
Hmm.
uh, happening.
I will speak to Sophia.
Great. And I will speak to Israel about something different, about coming to the bridge house and kind of bringing his value and doing his research.
Cool. Yeah. And I will think about, yeah, I want to speak to somebody. I mean, I also know that you have been in Bridgehouse before, but I was thinking to maybe speak to Lisa about creating Bridgehouse. And yeah, that's my first, yeah, that's who comes up.
Go.
So,
I love
I
Lisa.
mean, I mean, I also know that you guys said Vera because she's been living in whatever Findhorn for so many years. And I also love Vera, and right now Lisa is who comes up first for me.
Are you thinking of inviting her to the Bridgehouse as well?
Lisa or Vera?
Lisa.
Yes, and she just announced that she will be doing a lab with Vera around that time. But
Really? Wow, I
yes,
feel sad. I would like to attend the lab as well.
yeah, exactly. Me too. So I will double check the time of the lab and then, well, whatever. We'll see.
Okay. So we keep in contact. Do you have anything
Yes.
else before we close the call?
No, just this idea that I want to attend the lab. Well, I will send you the dates of that lab.
Please do. Yeah.
All right. And then we will see each other in 2 weeks.
We'll see each other in 2 weeks.
Cool. All right.
Lovely to meet with you, Christina.
Yes, you too. All right. Bye-bye.